This is Peter Pan syndrome.
Kids who are trans and non-binary can take something called a hormone blocker that stops their estrogen or testosterone, so it's easier for them to transition when they're grown-ups.
I heard you might have some questions for me.
Non-binary, queer, etc. It's fashion.
Are we talking more about gender?
Yeah, Teddy, we are.
This makes me want to vomit, man. Why am I doing this?
Why am I dancing with that trans person?
5 years ago, 6 years ago. We'll do them chronologically. So this one's from 6 years ago. 2018, May 30th. What's a spectrum? I'm wondering if they do the whole sex is a spectrum thing. That's mostly what I'm interested in here. Anyway, let's have a look.
Hey everyone, before the video starts for today, I just wanted to make sure you all know that we're running a Kickstarter for our next 2 seasons of...
How many Kickstarters have these people done? They have a Kickstarter, like, to restart their channel. I'm sure they've mentioned another one in another video I've done. It's so gross. Why don't you make something worth selling? Why don't you do an event or two? Why not give back? Instead of just, no, give me money so I can make more terrible content. Amazing. I didn't spend any money, like, starting this shit. I just went. You know what I mean? I don't need a fucking Kickstarter to make some content. No one should.
Episodes. You can see the link below in the description box. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode. Hey there, friends. Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Teddy.
Today, we're talking about spectrums and gender.
All are part of one big family.
Oh, and of course she has a ukulele and a xylophone, you know.
Gaming's happy. Queer kid stuff.
This makes me want to vomit, man. Why am I doing this?
You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff.
You ready, Teddy?
Ready. Lindsay.
Yes, Teddy?
Are we talking more about gender?
Yeah, Teddy, we are. I'm excited for today because this episode brings together everything we've been learning about gender.
Everything?
Well, pretty much, yeah. Today, we're talking about spectrums, specifically the gender spectrum.
That sounds
Is gender a spectrum? I guess maybe.
cool.
The gender spectrum is pretty cool, and
But the thing is, ukulele is great. Don't hate the ukulele. Listen, if this person is playing the ukulele, I'm hating it. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me at that point. It's just a instant reaction. Oh, thank you, GJ Buckle. Thank you. Good to see you.
I brought another friend along to help us out.
Wait, Lindsay. I have another question.
Yes, Teddy?
Why are we in black and white?
Did I react to Blair's video? I haven't seen it yet, no. I might at some point. I try not to watch those kind of things. I'd rather watch the original if I can. Pussy cysts. Listen, I don't have that much control over the chat. I know it's literally my chat, but just, yeah. I didn't know about that.
Wait.
Oh. Well, it has to do with what we're talking about today.
Oh, okay. But I miss color.
I do too, but it'll be back really soon, I promise. Let's bring on my friend AC and you'll see what I'm talking about. Hi, AC.
Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Teddy.
Hi, AC.
Teddy, I heard you might have some questions for me.
Yes.
Here's another red flag. Women that go by weird initials that look like this. I will not elaborate. Hey, if you like the stream, you should consider liking the stream. Check links in my description. You can support the stream on Streamlabs. You can buy music. You can listen to music that I've made. You can also join my Discord.
Yes. What are your pronouns and how do you identify?
I use they, them pronouns.
That's just like
I'm really glad she's told us her pronouns so that we won't get them wrong. Thank you, Teddy, for that.
me and Lindsay.
And I identify as non-binary.
What, this person here? Which one of them? They said, why are they the same person but Asian? Oh my god, that sent me. Kids and can coexist. Oh, Jesus Christ. I haven't seen that yet. I have a feeling I'm going to be coming back to this here and there because this kind of thing genuinely troubles me.
Thanks for coming along. Think you can define what a spectrum is for us?
Sure. But we should go over a few things first.
Oh, well, maybe Teddy can actually help us out with that. Teddy, do you remember all the
Yeah, I mean, tell me this isn't just a fashion movement. I'm sorry. Non-binary, queer, etc. It's fashion. It's literally fashion at this point. Oh, so queer kids stuff themselves. Okay, fair enough. I haven't found that yet. I'll have a look at some point. Maybe I'll see it. I don't know. We've got the Riley J. Dennis episode coming, so yeah. The flannel shirt doesn't really scream not a butch woman. I can't really talk. I'm wearing a flannel shirt. And I'm a man pretending to be a woman, so.
stuff we've talked about gender?
I think so. Is this a test?
Oh, no, Teddy. We'll totally help you out if you need it. There's a lot
Yeah, that's how it happens in reality. If you don't understand, we'll help you out, don't worry. No, it's, what, you don't know this, you fucking bigot? Sure.
to know about gender. Do you remember what non-binary and binary mean?
Oh, we just learned about this. Binary is boy and girl, and non-binary is in between.
That's right.
How can you be in between a boy and a girl? How can you be neither? Are they just pretending that they've got DSDs? Is that what it is? Because trans people do that, believe it or not. Very, very common. Trans people pretend to be people with DSDs. Okay, right. That's fine. I'm sure I can find it and then find the original. It's not that I have a problem with anyone like Blair White or whatever. It's just, if I'm watching someone reacting to something that then I'm also reacting to, it feels a bit obnoxious. So I'd rather watch the original. But I will check a video out at some point.
Right. The gender binary is just boys and girls, and non-binary gender is when you aren't just boy or girl.
Okay, how does that work? How can you be neither a boy or a girl if you're a human, considering there are two sexes? Is this the chick that said kids should coexist? Yeah. Someone else mentioned that as well. I don't know. I don't think we're getting onto that, but I have all the time in the world in terms of my channel, so we'll get onto it. Trust me. And that's a disgusting thing to say, by the way. Like, kids and can coexist. Like, what does that mean? That's rank. That's disgusting. I can't get over that. Literally the exact same, but all of these people are. I know plenty of like people. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I know plenty of women that look exactly like this, and they're all non-binary. But it's not a fashion movement. It's not literally just I'm a butch lesbian that doesn't like being called a woman or what the fuck, you know. TRA invasion of goth is so sad. Yeah, the problem is goth is like one of those things you can lean on if you're a bit ugly, especially if you're a trans woman. So yeah.
You're somewhere outside of or in between boy and girl.
Yeah, I got it.
Good job, Teddy.
Gender's
That's nice. They don't explain how the fuck that's possible whatsoever, because these two are both women. Like, maybe one of them has a DSD or something. By the way, almost everyone with a DSD is still male or female. Like, everyone swears blind that intersex disproves the sex binary. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. You've been lied to if you think so. I'm sorry. That's how it is.
spectrums are about putting those two ideas together.
But, how?
Well, Teddy, I think it'll actually be easier to understand if we just show you.
If you're looking at binary gender, it seems pretty
Okay, well, straight away, black and white are not genders, so we're doing a bit of analogizing. It's never a good start. People like this like to analogize because if they're not actually talking about the thing, it's harder to scrutinize the things that they're saying about this thing. You know what I mean? It's harder to pick it apart because they're kind of talking sideways. They're talking tangentially, you know? Oh, thank you. Yeah. I don't know. I had a shower at like 2:45 or something like that. I don't know what's going on today. Why do they talk with the side of their mouth? That's what everyone does. I'm joking. Hope you're good, Michael. Yeah, I've noticed that. Philosophy Tube does it like hardcore as well. In fact, DSDs wouldn't exist without sex binary. Yeah, we wouldn't exist without sex binary because we're mammals and we evolved from other things that also have a sex binary. I don't know. Look at any mammal and explain to me how there could possibly be a third option in there when there's two gametes. And those two gametes are necessary. And sex largely refers to reproductive roles. You can expand it to include people that cannot reproduce, that have that particular setup based on other factors and stuff like that. So, you know, you always get these smug being like, well, what about people that can't have kids? It's like, well, if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, it does make sense, I promise you. Try doing that.
Black and white, either boy or girl. But we know that's not true.
No. You think that's not true because you don't like being a woman, and that's how you cope with being a woman when you don't like being a woman. But it's not true.
Gender isn't only black and white, because we can see where there is a spectrum, a whole color.
Gender is derived from sex. How can it be possible that there's in-between genders? That doesn't make sense. You might just be a bit more masculine and still be a woman.
Spectrum in between black and white, just like there is gender outside of.
Even the perfect hermaphrodite still proves the sex binary. Well, there isn't, in humanity at least, there isn't such thing as like a perfect hermaphrodite. Like basically any hermaphroditic person, they still have a dominant like gonad, you know? They still, if they're producing anything, it's one or the other. There's no one that produces both gametes. There's no one that can reproduce with themselves, you know what I mean?
And in between boy and girl. And there you have it. That's a spectrum.
Logic about childbearing doesn't work. When a woman goes through menopause, she doesn't turn into a guy. Well, it's still based on reproductive roles. Like, they had that capability, and then you get older, you stop being able to. I mean, back when reproducing and keeping the population going was more of a concern, I'd imagine that people weren't always living long enough to get to menopause anyway. We live a lot longer than we used to.
We just made one.
Whoa! We're back in color, just like you said.
Yup, gender is way cooler when you can see all of its colors.
This is just childish. This is Peter Pan syndrome. There's nothing else to it. And so many of these people fucking exemplify Peter Pan syndrome. Yet somehow we haven't put 2 and 2 together, that this whole thing might just be childish bullshit.
Does this stuff about spectrums make sense now, Teddy?
Yeah, I think so.
Gender can be conceptualized as a spectrum. It isn't a scientific concept anyway, so who cares? Yeah, that's a fair point. But sex is not on a spectrum. Yeah. And to me, like, gender is actually derived from sex. And it's based on, you know, social aspects, what we see, what we perceive, what we put out there. But we're still seeing people in terms of, like, masculine and feminine. Like, if gender is a spectrum, I'm fine with that because, like you said, it barely fucking matters anyway. Like, call yourself what you want at a certain point. They now do a parenting podcast. Do they? I don't want to know. I'll find out one day, I guess, if that's true.
Want to see where I am on the gender spectrum?
Yes, yes, yes.
There. That's me.
Oh, and that's me.
Maybe I'm there or there?
Wait, which one's boy and which one's girl? I can't remember. I don't give a fuck. These are children trapped in adults' bodies who want to groom children into their weird ideology. So who gives a fuck?
That's okay, Teddy. Maybe you don't know yet, or maybe it changes for you, or maybe you're in multiple places. The sky's the limit.
Gender spectrums are fun.
Thanks so much for helping us.
Yeah, they want it to be fun. Like, what's fun isn't what's right. I'm sorry.
Out today, AC.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching Queer Kid Stuff. If you have any questions about what we talked about today,
How do they know where they are on this spectrum? Fuck knows.
you can always ask your grown-up. Now, grab a piece of paper and
Well, who's going to be asking you then, you weird freak? These aren't grown-ups. These are something else.
some crayons just like us and make your own gender.
They look the same. Yeah, everyone keeps saying that it's just Asian version of this one. But hey, it's fashion. That's all non-binary is. It's fashion. I can empathize with people that genuinely feel like some level of gender dysphoria. And so I do think that there probably is such a thing that matches what non-binary is. But overwhelmingly, like the what is it? Overwhelmingly, the way it's put across in society, the way it practically functions, it's just fashion. There's nothing more to it than that. This is the next stage of people who identify as goths rather than just liking goth fashion. You know what I mean? This is just the next fucking stage of the retardation.
Spectrum. And we've got brand new videos coming at you every other Wednesday. Don't forget to hit subscribe.
Subscribe to me instead. We've got one more from them. We've got Riley J. Dennis coming in. Amazing.
Hey there, friends. I'm Lindsay.
This one, by the way, is What is Transitioning? Featuring Riley Dennis. Yes, let's teach children about transitioning. Great idea. Amazing.
Hey there, friends. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Teddy.
Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff.
Hi.
Today we're talking about...
Whoa, what was that, Lindsay?
That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about...
It happened again.
Are you getting it, Teddy?
What is it? Tell me.
We're talking about transition.
Oh, I don't get it.
Queer Kid Stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid.
This channel has to be 18 plus. This channel is a kids channel. You can't like search for things. Like lots of things. It's weird. It's weird as fuck. I'm not very familiar with YouTube Kids because why the fuck would I be? But I think this is actually like a kids channel, which is disgusting. As in like an actual YouTube Kids channel, which is fucking disgusting. Gross. No. Also, I hate this intro. This is like so quirked up. This exemplifies every fucking toxic as fuck Peter Pan syndrome fucking loser that I have to deal with.
Kid Stuff.
Ready, Teddy?
Ready, Lindsay.
Okay, today we're talking about transitions.
Why do children need to learn about transitioning? What purpose is there? Other than weird older men who also think they're women living vicariously through you, which seems to be a lot of the drive behind this shit, but
Teddy, you already know what a transition is.
I do?
We just did one.
We did?
Yeah.
apology in the video with the ukulele. Weirdly, they apparently said something about kids and kink can go together, which is disgusting. They were involved in an effort to sue YouTube. Like, they've done plenty of dumbass fucking stuff, but nothing warranting an apology like that, you know what I mean? But hey, maybe one day, hopefully. Maybe they'll apologize for trying to indoctrinate kids into their weird Peter Pan syndrome fucking shit.
Well, let's do it again and see if you can get it. Ready, Teddy?
I already told you I'm ready, Lindsay.
Teddy, that's our transition.
Talking about transitioning to children, it's so creepy. Yes, true.
Oh, it is?
A transition is when you are between things or places or activities, like when we go from our theme song back to the episode topic.
Oh.
Teddy, what do you usually do at school after you have free playtime?
We read a story.
Okay, well, what happens in between playtime and story time?
Oh, we clean up.
That's right.
Is that a transition?
Exactly. That's one kind of a transition.
Is that even true? That's a weird analogy, but sure.
That's not a very fun transition.
Well, maybe not, but transitions are super important because they're how we experience change. We use transitions for lots of different things.
But what does that have to do with us and queer kid stuff?
I was just about to get to that. I know it's been a while, Teddy, but do you remember what the T stands for in LGBTQ+?
Trans. It stands for trans or transgender.
That's right. And what does it mean to be trans?
It's when you do not identify with your assigned gender.
That's right. Being trans means that the gender and pronouns you identify with don't match the gender you were assigned when you were born.
But what does that have to do with transition?
Well,
I guess you transition between awake and asleep, right?
sometimes trans and non-binary grown-ups go through what we call a transition.
They do.
Just grown-ups. I don't know if in 2019 kids were already transitioning. That shit has been happening since fucking 2012, if not sooner. If not earlier, should I say.
Do?
Not all trans and non-binary people go through a transition, but a lot do. And
How are they trans then? Why is it called trans if you don't even transition? Like, then what's the point? You just call yourself something else. How's that any different from fucking non-binary or queer?
transitions can look totally different from one person to another. Why don't we give my friend Riley a call? She'll help.
That isn't even true. Like, do that many trans women really look all that different? Do that many trans men really look all that different? I'm not sure about that.
Let me explain. Hey, Riley.
Hi!
Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Teddy.
Riley, what are your pronouns?
Assigned gender. I hate assigned gender. Listen, if you're going to say assigned female at birth, just say female. If you're going to say assigned male at birth, it's just male. The word is literally in there.
And how do you identify?
I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I'm a non-binary
Always she, her. She, they, sorry. If it's she, they, beware. That's all I need to say. If they go by she, they pronouns, red flag.
trans woman.
Riley, I was just trying to explain transitioning to Teddy. Can you help me out?
Sure, a gender transition is when a trans or non-binary person does something so their gender identity matches their gender presentation.
Gender identity. We're teaching children about gender identity, a completely unscientific, unproven concept that means nothing, that literally you could just be calling yourself a thing, coming up with something in your head, self-fanfic, that you've decided is you now, and then everyone has to accept it. It doesn't make any sense. I hate the gender identity model. And the fact that it's the only one that we're allowed to talk about is like fucked. Like, of course, there has to be, you know, we have to discredit every single other theory. It's because the theory that we want, aka the one that's flattering to people, is bunk and stupid and makes no sense. Oh, my gender identity is different to my actual sex. What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean something inside of you really means that you're the other thing? Or does it just mean that you made something up because your life fell to shit or something? I don't know. Milo Stewart has a video complaining about AMAB and AFAB becoming a new binary. I need to watch Milo Stewart. I don't know if any of his shit is still up. Very cringy individual, from what I remember. All this like, oh, you have unconscious racism. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
This can look really different for different trans and non-binary people. For a trans woman, it might be as simple as growing her hair long, but there are lots of things you
Oh, boiling it down to stereotypes. Nice.
can do. Some grown-ups take hormones, either estrogen,
Estrogen.
Why? If it's a grown-up thing, why are you teaching kids about it? This is creepy. This is weird. And then this one is like acting even more like a child than the other overgrown children in the room. It's making me feel sick.
or testosterone.
Testosterone. Got it.
Estrogen helps someone present more feminine, and testosterone helps someone present more masculine, like growing facial hair.
Help someone present. That's such, I don't know. I guess effectively that's why you take them, but like, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ.
Some trans and non-binary grown-ups might get surgery as part of their transition. There are lots of different kinds of surgery.
Yeah, let's teach all the kids about surgery. Amazing.
Usually we talk about top surgery and bottom surgery.
Making the, top surgery, bottom surgery. Fucking what's the word? We're simplifying it for the children. Why do the children need to know this? Top surgery and bottom surgery. Why do they need to know that?
Those kinds of surgeries help trans and non-binary people feel more at home in their bodies.
What does that mean? What's a body home?
Some people don't totally feel comfortable with their bodies.
Oh,
This is for kids 3 to 7. Yes. Is Riley Dennis just another online critter swimming in the gender soup, or do they have actual significance? Riley Dennis was big years ago. I'm pretty sure now he's a footballer in Australia or something. In fact, I can show you. I can find it even. He was tracked down, I think, last year. He plays football in Australia, aka soccer if you're American. But yeah, there we go. Riley J. Dennis playing football in Australia. Originally posted by Redux, being suppressed. Ouch, really? Listen, I never know. I never know, but big if true, you know? 5 male players. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's what Riley J. Dennis does these days, is kicks the shit out of women on the football field. Like, Riley Dennis, into Lions FC, top scorer as well. Male fucking person. I don't know for a fact if this person is still in Australia, to be clear. And yeah, that's what it says. Women's League, Riley Dennis at the top here. Now suddenly it's interplayer. Interesting. Anyway, that's what Riley J. Dennis is up to nowadays.
Then they should watch our video about body positivity.
They definitely should, Teddy, but sometimes it's a little more complicated than that. It really depends on the person, but some trans and non-binary people need to do certain things to feel like they've fully transitioned, and others might feel totally happy with their transition just by taking hormones or changing their clothes.
That's right, Lindsay. Some trans and non-binary kids might
To feel like they've fully transitioned, and others might feel totally happy with their transition just by taking hormones or changing their clothes.
Okay, so the implication being some trans people just change their clothes and now they're what, the opposite sex? That doesn't make any sense.
That's right, Lindsay. Some trans and
And of course, he immediately is like, that's right. Of course you think it's right.
non-binary kids might transition too. Kids who are trans and non-binary can take something called a hormone.
And here's the thing. Earlier it was like, grown-ups do this? Nope. Come on, kids. Let's get some transitioning kids in here. Let's fucking go. Amazing.
Might feel totally happy with their transition just by taking hormones or changing their clothes.
That's right, Lindsay. Some trans and non-binary kids.
Do we have any parents watching right now? If you haven't transed at least one of your kids, you're a terrible parent. Just saying. What do they have to add to body positivity? I think body positivity is another exclusively Peter Pan syndrome fucking thing, to be honest with you.
Kids might transition too. Kids who are trans and non-binary can take something called a hormone blocker that stops their estrogen or testosterone, so it's easier for them to transition when they're grown-ups. But it's really
It's easier? Is that true? In some ways it's harder. You can't get a penile inversion, for example, because you don't grow down there properly. Neat Mike. I don't know who Neat Mike is. Yeah, another male playing women's sports. Yep, there's loads of them. It's fucked. I'm not for it. I never have been. I tried to tell people for a long time that this trans sports thing is a non-starter. We need to take the L on that shit. But hey, no trans people I knew would listen to me. So it continues to get worse, and hey, that's just how it is. What is
warn
this?
you, the video.
What is... Oh. Wait, are they actually dead? So confused. I have no idea what this is. Anyway.
really important to talk to your grown-ups and a doctor about that if you think
Have you transitioned one of your fur babies? If not, you're a terrible parent. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's not even funny. Kids who are trans might turn themselves into chemical eunuchs with osteoporosis, and that's beautiful. Yeah. Just like getting fat as fuck because you can't stop eating. Fat is beautiful, you know? And then when you die before the age of 40, that's just, I don't know, nature? Something like that.
it's something you might want.
Yep, I think we've covered it, Riley.
I think so. And a doctor about that if you think it's something you might want.
Yep, I think
It sounds like this one is cutting this one off because this one's kind of talking about trans kids too much. Shit, we were meant to be talking about grown-ups. Don't tell them that kids can do it too. Make it easier because we're cognitively mature and will remain more easily manipulated by adults around you. Yeah. I don't know too much, to be clear, about the cognitive effects of puberty blockers, but I don't know. We'll get there one day. I know my goldfish identifies the crab and I let it. Does that count? Yeah, you're fine. You can continue being a animal parent, whatever the term is.
I think we've covered it, Riley.
I think
Are your cats they them because there's more than one of them?
so.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Riley.
Bye.
Grown-ups, don't forget to check out Riley's channel. She has tons of super informative videos about the LGBT.
Well, that was horrifying. Yeah, there we go. More queer kid stuff. Scary fucking channel. But hey, listen. This whole thing, it's a fucking autopsy on what trans has become. Maybe a bit of a premature autopsy, but one nonetheless.